Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Ronsley, and this is episode 49 of my AI Love Affair, releasing 3 episodes a week. I want to thank my team because we're almost getting to 50, because without them, this would have not been possible. Today, we're going to talk about the advanced data analysis. And it used to be called Code Interpreter, and what it does is it takes anyone that can imagine an idea of what a computer program can do, and it can write you some really cool code. Not only that, it can analyze data like you could not believe, and I'll show you some examples towards the end of this episode. But most importantly, it can be your data analyst. And nowadays, we have so much data that we have available to us, but that data, we don't know what to do with it. We don't know how to use it. We don't know how to search for it. We don't know how to make sense of it. And today, I'm going to show you how to do just that using artificial intelligence and ChatGPT's Code Interpreter or advanced data analysis. Come, let's learn.
Hey, it's Ronsley. Welcome, you AI geek, to this podcast, my AI Love Affair. Consider this podcast your digital compass, guiding you through the labyrinth that is business growth using artificial intelligence. Running a business as a creative can sometimes be like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. But what if you had a secret tool that could align all the colors for you? That is AI. It's like a master key unlocking multiple doors. Thanks for being here. Let's learn.
So, welcome. Episode 49. I'm here in Dubai. I'm about to get on a flight to go to Goa. So the next few episodes, you might see a different background. I am collecting backgrounds, and today is no different. Today, I wanted to do this before I checked out and got on a flight. If you look at that side of the room, it's absolutely insane because I'm packing. But today, we're talking about advanced data analysis for your business. And as someone who has a business, oh my God, especially with so much data available today, you should be able to do something with that. And today I'm going to show you how. Go back and check out all our previous episodes, myailoveaffair.com. Obviously, there are 48 more episodes that you can check out if this is the first time you're listening to this. But if you didn't check out the last tech stack, we spoke about why you need your own AI knowledge bot. Very useful for today, especially if you have your own IP, your own trainings, and your own ways of doing things. You can give your clients something that they have never experienced before, and that's the idea. Check out episode 46. Now, the OpenAI's Code Interpreter, or advanced data analysis as it's called today, think of it like a super smart calculator that not only does math, but also understands your business needs, because it can take math and kind of make that relevant to the business, especially if it is business data. Understanding how to use this tool is like learning how to fish. And through this whole series, one of the things that I've tried to do more than anything else is teach you how to fish. Teach you the learning and the background and the ideas and the principles and the mistakes not to make the process, rather than just giving you prompts that you can copy and paste, because that is not useful. I want you to learn to fish, because once you know it, you can feed yourself forever. It's crucial to making informed decisions in your business. And today, I'm going to show you how to do that. As an example, think of a small business or a one-person show. For that person in particular, it's like having an extra employee or multiple employees who work 24/7 but don't need a salary. And if you want to think about this, I want you to understand that it is someone who is just graduated, and they've graduated in every single degree possible. They're a lawyer, they're an accountant, they're an analyst, they're a computer scientist. They're just graduates that know everything. And you can ask it questions, but if you don't know how to train it, and you don't know how to ask it right questions, and you don't know how to delegate to it, it's kind of not going to do anything for you. So what it will do is it'll help you understand your customers better, it'll improve your products, and it'll even save you money. So as always, let me start with the 3 principles, followed by some applications and how to think about some principal concepts, the important components that make up the advanced data analysis or code interpreter. So the first principle is data interpretation. Data interpretation is like reading a book, but for numbers. Imagine your sales data as a comic book. Each sale is a frame in the comic book, and the code interpreter helps you understand the story these frames are telling, and it does it sequentially. So that sequence is also quite important to understand when it comes to principles in this code interpretation. So the first principle is how data is interpreted, and if you understand this, then you can understand the next principle, because it is on automation. Automation is making a machine do repetitive tasks for you, like I mentioned earlier. It's like having multiple extra employees. When you're thinking about automation, imagine a self-cleaning room. You never have to worry about tidying up, it just does it for you. Another example in the automation field is like thinking of it as a conveyor belt at a grocery store. Checkout, it moves items to the cashier, so you don't actually have to push your stuff. Think of automation in that sense, and that'll help you understand this principle number 2. And principle number 3 is scalability. Scalability means the tool can grow with your business. It's like having a pair of adjustable shoes that fit you, whether you're a kid at size 5 or you grow up to have 10 size shoe like I do. So scalability is all about being adjustable. Another way to think about this is like imagine a magic backpack that expands to hold more items if you need it. I know that Rochelle needs it because every time we have a bag, it's just not enough for her. So, and another way to think about it is think of it as a tree that grows with more branches. We think of the branches as features as it gets older. So this is something that I want you to understand in terms of principles so that you can really apply it. So this is principle number 3 is scalability. So 3 components for you to kind of understand and how these all relate. The first component is the user interface. The user interface is how you interact with the tool. Now in ChatGPT, it's very simple. It's them trying to make all these user interfaces as simple as possible, like the Google search bar. And you think of it, the user interface as the steering wheel in a car, like the buttons and how you sort of navigate the car. So that's the user interface. Or you can think of it as a remote control, which is running somewhere around here, for your television, where you're interacting with the television through this remote control. The second is algorithms. Algorithms are a set of rules the tool follows to give you answers. Now, at the base level, Code Interpreter and ChatGPT have very basic functions and functionality that and algorithms that run so that you can do the things that you want to do and ask it the questions you want to ask it. It kind of creates these guardrails. And these algorithms really help you take the data that you have and actually do something with it. And component number 3 is data storage. This is where all your information is kept. And the most powerful thing here is in Code Interpreter, you can give it a file, you can give it data, which is what you really need. And data storage is kind of important. It's like the library full of books, right? Think of it as a closet where you keep all your clothes, or imagine it as a toolbox holding all your tools. So these 3 components are really important when it comes to advanced data analysis. And having those 3 components and understanding them allows you to better use them. So let's get into some applications. Because while you might understand the principles and while you might understand the components, how do you use it? How do you apply it? This is that part. Application number 1, customer behavior analysis, understanding what your customers like and dislike. Here, this is the most important part when it comes to business, because a lot of the times we create products and we create services based on our idea of what the world should look like. And if we understood our customers and our clients better, we could make way better products. We could make way better onboarding processes. We can make way better marketing content. So I saw this video on Gary Vaynerchuk's Instagram about what is the best marketing tactic. And it's all about caring. It's a great one. And I'm talking about him a lot now because he's coming up in the next episode, well, episode 51. So look forward to that. When you think about customer behavior analysis, it's like knowing that kids at a birthday party love chocolate cake and planning accordingly, right? It's like having a playlist that has only your favorite songs. And if you're on Spotify, like I am, you have playlists for separate occasions and events, and you have your favorite light playlist, which is so useful, especially when you need a pickup or pick me up. It's like a menu tailored to include only the foods you enjoy. Can you imagine eating that day in and day out? I wonder whether you'd stop enjoying the foods that you like and go on to other things because the novelty dies out, or whether you'd really enjoy eating your favorite foods for the rest of your life. Topic for another conversation. But that's application number one. Application number two is inventory management, keeping track of what you have in stock, especially if you are a restaurant or a business that has stock and inventory as part of your systems. It's like knowing exactly how many eggs are in your fridge. And I'm going to do a whole episode on GPT vision, which means that you can click a picture of the items in your fridge and you can ask that image a whole bunch of really cool questions. I'm going to blow your mind with that episode for sure. But for inventory management, you can think of it as like a list of all the books in your personal library, and you're not second buying books. Now, this is another thing that happened to me. I did not have inventory management for the audiobooks. And over the last 90 days, I've easily read about 27 or 28 books. And that's my normal rhythm of consumption in terms of picking up new information that I'm really interested in. But I've moved from Audible to iBooks, and I bought a book that I've already read before, that I already had in my Audible library. So that is something you want to avoid, especially when it comes to mass scale, especially if you're a business that has this kind of inventory and stock that make it really important to function. It's like imagining that, it's like a fuel gauge in your car. That understanding what you have and what you don't have allows you to make better decisions. And finally, application number 3 is financial forecasting. Predicting how much money you'll make or need in the future is such an important part of business. And most of us that are starting businesses or creative entrepreneurs that are creating the business around their real magic. So if you're a really good author, a really good lawyer, accountant, doesn't matter what it is that you are, you have to learn all these other things about business, right? And one of the really important things to learn is financial forecasting. You're not supposed to know it by heart, because how can you learn everything? But now you have artificial intelligence can help you do all these things and more. So it's like a weather forecast, but for your business. Think of it as a calendar that marks important financial dates. Imagine it as a roadmap that shows you the financial path that your business is on, and accordingly allows you to make some really cool decisions that will make your business thrive. So those are some applications, and this is episode 49. Now, before I move on, even though this is a tech stack, I'm going to show you some really cool stuff. All right, so we are here in ChatGPT. You can see that I'm using ChatGPT 4 because that's where you can go here and hit advanced data analysis. Now, if you notice, you can put files in here, which is very powerful. And in those files, you can give it a lot of really cool information. So let me give you an example. I am writing a new book, if you don't know. And part of me writing my new book is me coming up, doing my literature review, which is I'm doing right now. Literature review is really important for any thesis, understanding what currently exists so that you take that knowledge, stand on the shoulders of giants who have built a lot of things and understood a lot of knowledge before you've come along, and then build on that and not try to recreate or copy someone else's stuff without understanding what currently exists. So if I show you the literature review here, I'm going to show you some data files that I have copied. This is real data that makes it useful for you to understand. So let me just pick something like this one, which is the AI performance knowledge test versus training computation. So I'm going to say, hey, take this data and can you please look at this file and help me understand the key aspects being covered here. Also, please give me 5 conclusions from this data. And it'll do its thing, because if you notice here, it's doing some work, and here's the power of the advanced data analysis. At the start, I told you about, if you can imagine a computer doing something, this is what it's doing. So it's actually taken my command, it is written the code for that command, so in Python, and it's then interpreted that code, put that into here, and then it has then kind of given me what is actually in that data file. So it's not only given me what's in the data file, but it's concluded some really important things like the computational power correlation. Now, in this data, it's telling me that there's a wide range of computational power, which is the power that's required to compute. It is used for training these models from 36,000 petaflops to, oh my God, I'm not even going to read that number, petaflops. This suggests that the potential correlation between computational power and performance, obviously, the more computational power, the more performance. It talks about the recent models. Most models appear to be recent, from the years 2019 to 2003. We're talking about large language models here. It also suggests that the field is rapidly evolving. Now, there's another way that you can do this, and you can say, I have this information, which is the artificial intelligence training computation data, as well as data from corporate investment. So I'm going to open both those files, and I'm going to say, look at both these files and make 5 logical conclusions by combining this data. Now, I could obviously think about a better prompt, but right now, all I'm thinking about is I have a few more minutes to get on my flight. So I'm showing you what is possible. So the important part here is that if you don't use good data, then you can't really get good information. The conclusions are useless if the data is flawed. So understanding the data that you capture is really important here. Like this, you can do a whole bunch of other things. I love that you're here. Thank you for joining me. If this is the first episode, it's great that you're here. I love that you've been listening to this podcast and listen to our back catalog on myailoveaffair.com. Go to aigeeks.co/free and you'll get a whole bunch of lessons and prompts and understanding on how to use artificial intelligence in your business, and doing it with sensibility, understanding, and really good concepts. So join me on the next episode where I celebrate episode 50. Thank you. Much love.
Hey, AI Geek. Thanks for listening. Your job doesn't stop here. I want you to lend your voice to the conversation. So you can join those conversations, discussions, new trainings, new recordings, and the rest of the AI Geeks by going to aigeeks.co/discord. Also, share this podcast with a friend, another potential AI Geek. Until then, much love.